you imagine that it's a Saturday? The 11-year-olds are playing football, reds against greens. The Reds are the better team, and with all the action at the far end, their goalkeeper is bored. He takes an interest in the match on the next pitch and is drawn into the drama of a penalty kick. Shouts of alert bring him back to his own game. He looks round, 2 greens and the ball are speeding towards him, but he had his eye on the wrong ball and he's lost his bearing and balance. The ball cuts across him and into the net. He was neither alert nor awake to his job. Jesus calls us to keep awake and alert spiritually, keeping our eyes on the right ball. Advent, Latin for Adventus, means coming. And for Christians, it's about the coming of Jesus, not only at the first Christmas 2,000 odd years ago, but at his second coming. And we don't know when that will be. Advent can be an adventure because it's about preparation. It's the beginning of a new church year. And as you can see, I'm wearing my purple stole, and if we were in church, we would have an altar frontal that was purple. And it's a time when we look at our lives and see what needs putting right, putting our lives in order, giving ourselves time to be quiet, perhaps to read our Bibles a little more and to pray a little more. Like the goalkeeper who took his eyes off the ball, we need to keep our eyes on Jesus, because in this run-up to Christmas, we get caught up in the silly buying season, when it should be for Christians preparation for our celebration that Christ was born. We are in the waiting season. We are waiting on God. Scholars don't agree exactly when the Gospel of Mark was written, but today's passage does suggest that the author was addressing Christians going through a period of considerable suffering, perhaps associated with the destruction of the temple. If this is the case, then those believers were very likely to be asking why they were suffering and when Jesus would return, as promised, to save them. So, Mark's aim is to encourage them, not by promising an instant fix, but by placing their troubles in a context in which God is still sovereign, knows about what they are going through, and will bring salvation once the hardship has been endured. This passage is trying to encourage the people to hold fast to God through Jesus, who will ultimately return to call his people to himself. But it is very specifically not setting dates or even a programme of events leading up to Christ's return. Verse 32 tells us, about that day or hour no one knows, neither the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. So how anyone can presume to say that they know when Jesus will return is downright against the teaching of Jesus. This is a bit of a balancing act. We look forward to God's intervention, but we don't assume he will act simply because we're currently having a hard time. Don't rest all your faith on God's imminent rescue, but we're told to keep alert and to keep awake to Jesus, who could return any time. In other words, keep your eye on the ball. If Jesus were to return tomorrow, would I be ready? Are we living the Christian life in hope and faith? Amen.